Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The coldest temperature is absolute zero. The hottest temperature is 103 degrees Fahrenheit.
Trust me, I took a hike in that once, and it definitely is the hottest it can be.
Good morning, Night Vale.
It's me, Symphony.
Speaking of the hottest you can be, it's me, Meg.
Hot like a fire. Lublin. And we are the hosts of Good Morning Night Vale, where we listen to Welcome to Night Vale and then recap it for you. We add our own little special sauce to it. We also take some ingredients from you to add a little spice to the sauce.
Donkey sauce.
Because we love it. And because we're allowed to, we get to be the official recap podcast. Nobody else gets to be the official recap podcast. Woo. There are a lot of you out there might be recapping this show and do a podcast about it, which is great.
Fake recappers.
Express yourself artistically, however you like, but we're the official ones. And we are recording this on Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025.
Woo woo. And it's episode 191, The Many, Many Lives of Frank Chen. Or as it says in our Google Doc, The Many, Many Lives of Frank Che. And the episode description for this episode is Frank Chen has been found alive and has been returned to his family exactly as he was the day he died.
Let's talk about it.
Here we are. Back to the Frank Chen. We got the prophecy of Frank Chen is that the sentence that the judge handed down was that you have to bring back Frank Chen alive exactly as he was the day he died, or else the Chen family gets the whole town.
Yeah.
And the sheriff's secret police has taken several different cracks at this, including cloning Frank Chen. And today they have used time travel to bring Frank Chen back. They plucked him out of time from the moment right before his death and brought him to this moment in time. And it's made things weird.
Super weird. I loved this episode. I thought it made me feel great at the end because Frank Chen, even though gone too soon, but also not really. As we start, as always, from the beginning, like you said, all this has occurred and we are in the courtroom. They bring in or they take the cover off of him. Why is he sitting there under a cover, but with his mouth taped? And he sees his family, but he's seeing them like what, 5 years or 9 years?
9 years, I think.
Yeah.
9 years. So and he was like, was I in a coma? I would have thought the same thing, because like any kids have now, like in 9 years, the difference of a person, child, your brother, your mom, your dad, that could mean a million different things. How much they've changed, they've grown, what they've lost, So I'm sure it's shocking for him to have that. And that part makes me a little sad. But they're like, oh, okay, great. Frank Chen's back. But not for long.
Well, there are a few things we're exploring here. One is the butterfly effect, where one thing has ripple effects on everything else. So we get an alternate,
Of course,
reality Night Vale, but also the idea of these fixed anchor points, like he had to be murdered. If he doesn't get murdered, then clearly what happens is he gets hold of a time machine, and like Biff in Back to the Future 2, old Biff that is, he goes back and messes everything up. Creates these alternate timelines. Don't experiment on Thanksgiving. That's the real story here.
Well, okay. I'm like, okay, it creates an alternate time. It has alternate timelines, or these people from alternate, because you are married to Diane Creighton.
Yes.
But like even 9 years ago, when Frank Chen was still alive, you were married to your wife and you had Janice.
Right.
So that's that's like a Spider-Verse sort of like multiverse sort of situation, which I find also, but that makes sense. It's kind of like paradoxical.
Yeah, there are so many different changes that, like, Michelle Wynn is different, obviously. Like, they've sold to a huge conglomerate, like a chain. Was it Tower Records has bought them? Tower
Records, yeah.
But it also is like, so toy commercials in the 70s and 80s, before Reagan deregulated everything, and G.I. Joe, like all these cartoons became just commercials for toys. They would these toy lines would come out with these action figures, and there would be no accompanying media for them. There would be no television show. So they would be like, this is Power Man. You can imagine that he has come from outer space. Like, it just sort of tells you what to pretend. So there's a lot of that in this episode. Like, you can imagine that something happened with Steve's first wife and necessitated him being remarried. Was it a divorce? Was it a tragedy?
Right.
Was it a tragic divorce? You'll never know. But he's now married to Diane Creighton.
But also Sarah Sultan being a sea rock. She was never a sea rock. She's always been a fist-sized river rock. You know what I mean?
But he went so far back that, again, like, the ripple happened in very early times.
That's true. Well, here's some of the things I found the funniest or the most interesting. Okay, so the purple crystal spire. I love that.
It's an improvement.
Right. Seems more cunty.
Yeah.
Than the brownstone spire. But what would the purple crystal spire?
And like wind chimes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, ling, ling, ling. The invisible pancakes instead of invisible pie.
It was the huge takeaway for me from this episode.
Yeah.
Huge if true.
Do you think, okay, wait, invisible pancakes, though, because pancakes satisfy something on such a deep level. Like a good pancake just does something to my heart and warms me from the inside. And it like ignites a flame in my coal black heart. When it's buttery and fluffy and soft, but also it's got like enough of like a texture, like a sponginess to soak up the syrup, the scissor, if you will. I love that shit. And it has to be real maple syrup. Don't come to me with that fake ass shit, that chemicals. I want it straight from Canada.
Oh, Canada. We
love you, Canada. I'm so sorry about all of this. But you know what? I love a good maple syrup on a delicious pancake and a big thing of butter. Like, I want the butter to be melted on there. Like that soft, good butter.
Like the scoop, they use like a scooper. Like the IHOP.
Yeah.
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 Already kind of melting.
Yeah, it could be a honey butter. It could be a cinnamon butter. But I want it to be whipped, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes me really hungry.
Went years. So I love a pancake. I was like a get the pancake for the table kind of situation.
Yeah,
Never
same.
something that as an adult I order, but the pancake for the table. But now that I have a child who loves pancakes, if it's a weekend, she wants me to make her pancakes. If she doesn't have school, I got to make her pancakes. So I'm out here just making pancakes a lot.
Do you do it from scratch or do you do like the shake and pour? Because I love a shake and pour.
I do it from scratch. I do.
Nice.
Because I try to what are we even doing here? Trying to make it. I use all whole wheat flour. I mash up a banana and put it in there, whatever. And then I also, I just want to make a little bit of it because she's the only one who eats them. So I just make my own sort of little recipe, a little baking powder, a little baking soda, some sugar, salt, vanilla, an egg, some milk. Get it going.
Yeah. Bing, bang, boom.
Bing, bang, boom.
Pancakes.
Till it's the right texture. That's really all you have to do is get the batter to the right texture and it'll be fine.
Yeah. And just whatever baking powder and baking soda amount seems right is probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy a mix occasionally, when I'm trying to be quick sometimes, because I have the Kodiak protein pancake mix from the Costco's. I'll do that one. Or sometimes if I'm at a Trader Joe and they a Tradarius and they have a delicious seasonal
the pumpkin one? Yeah.
Oh. I'll tell you what, I've been waiting. It's almost the season after September. When I get back from tour after September 21st, baby, you better bet that's going to be on my plate because currently I'm still doing blueberry pancakes.
I remember one time, I must have been in my mid 20s. I had a couple friends come over. We were making pancakes, and we were going to make chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh,
so I got the Bisquick shake and pour because my mother made Bisquick pancakes when I was a kid. I because they would get a little crispy on the griddle. I like a little crispy edge.
Okay, for sure.
To a pancake, and most restaurants don't do that. They serve you giant clouds. Not into
fluffers. That. Yeah, I love it.
But I didn't know. I wasn't cooking much back then, so I was like, "Oh, we'll put the water, we'll shake the batter up, then we'll pour all the chocolate chips in there and shake that. And when we pour them out, it will be the perfect amount of chocolate chips at each pancake."
No,
didn't think in the moment. Why not pour the pancake into the pan and then sprinkle the chips in there? So that was we did have one very chocolatey pancake at the bottom, though.
Yeah, because it's going to clump up into the bottom.
That's right.
And then you're going to get just a chocolate pancake.
That's correct.
Which also, maybe not sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could do better.
Iris always has to have a chocolate chip.
Oh, really? Always?
Always.
Okay. That makes sense. She's a kid.
She's a chocoholic.
You should put her into treatment for that.
Yeah.
Chocoholic. Hi, I'm
Celebrate
Iris, and I'm a chocoholic.
Hi, Iris.
I have to go to the version of it for family members who need support. Yeah.
Chocoholics.
Chocoholinon.
No.
Yeah. She yells at me if I don't give her the chocolate.
She yells at you. You're under the regime of a tyrant over there. A tiny, tiny tyrant. But you know what? I don't know if invisible pancakes would be as succulent as real pancakes can be. But what do I know? I'm just some idiot on a podcast. Anyway. But, okay, so in addition to the invisible pancakes, Sarah Sultan being a sea rock, the Tower Records thing, okay, here, I was like, what is going on? I wrote this in big letters. And then the thing about Michelle, being like, oh, yeah, I want to hear every music that makes you happy. And I wrote, Michelle would never. She would never. In our Michelle win.
No, she would
doesn't
never.
give a horse's patoot about your tastes. And she actually hates your taste.
Yeah.
She thinks you have no taste. So, and I think the saddest one is Dana Cardinal having a generally exciting, sort of existence. She's only had that one job.
Yeah, it's the only place she ever worked. Alternate timeline.
Well, she was never an intern.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the interns are alive. So that's a good.
They're fine. They're doing really well, which, yes, that's positive. Also, I kind of like Pamela Winchell as the sheriff. She doesn't really say anything, but like, I like the idea of her traveling through time. I'm imagining her very a la Doctor Who, like in a like long jacket. I'm just imagining Desiree in like one of those long like coats,
Like a duster?
Yeah, like a duster. Being like, woo, woo, through like a timey-wimey sort of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, also Desert Bluffs, Friends. No way.
Up is down, left is right.
Louis Blasco.
Don't experiment on Thanksgiving.
It's a fun thing.
Don't do it.
It's a fun thing about this episode. This is the first episode of the 10th season.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice welcome back.
And what a nice welcome back it is. And then we've sort of coming towards the end of the last season, we had the Joseph gets stuck in Night Vale. We had the listeners episode where all the other podcasts were on. So this in a way also sort of feels like in the world of that, of a like sort of running the basis of Night Vale and flipping all of these things on their head. It's the inside joke episode for all the people who are the super fans who know that Sarah Sultan is a river rock and not a sea rock, and that it's pie and not pancakes, and that it's, Janice and Abby and not Diane and Josh. So it's a little one of those little nods too. A little shout out to all the listeners who know. The OGs know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Joseph wrote this episode.
Okay.
He wrote this episode in like May of 21, because in his director's notes, he's talking about how he wrote this episode early because it was right before Iris was born and he was on paternity leave when it came out in August. So he wrote this very much in the past from when it would premiere. So it's like his own little bit of time travel.
Oh, fun.
Yes, that he wrote it and then wrote the director's notes well before it would come out, because Iris was going to come out and then she came out and now she's 4. So
and she's torturing you for pancakes.
Yeah, for chocolate.
Oh no, for chocolate, not for pancakes.
Well, it has to be a chocolate chip pancake.
They're just a vehicle for chocolate.
It have to be chocolate chip.
Aye.
Yeah. So while we're making it, she's like, I have to also be handed some chocolate chips while you're making chocolate chip pancakes.
Well, she wants a little taste. Let me get a little taste while you're cooking.
I love that kid. Yeah.
She needs a little taste while she's
Give
cooking.
me a sweet. You got a sweet treat? Give it to me.
Yeah.
You holding out?
I'm also imagining her. I know what her voice sounds like, but I'm imagining her being like, yeah, give me a little sweet treat, a little taste. Like a little mobster. Well, I like that Frank Chen gets to live all these different lives, because he does get to live certain, like, years, it says, like, years in certain places. Like, he goes to the future. He goes all the way back to the past. He goes to a place where it's like there's like solitude. He works in different situations. I like that. I like that it makes it less sad, because everybody does pass away at some point, right? But sometimes to live the potential.
He gets more of the life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets more of the life that he deserved.
Right.
He gets to experience more time, which is great. And then eventually he just gives up. It's just like, you know what? It's time. I guess I'll go back to the end.
I thought it was like he like made just like wasn't paying attention and like made a wrong turn, and like was like, oh, and he was in this car and then saw a shadow, and then he was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, he didn't even know that was the moment. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was beautiful. It made it feel like, to me, maybe that's the way I understood it, but like, it made it feel like he just like with anything, like he turned a corner and then that was the moment, and he didn't run from it. I don't think he even knew that it was happening or that it was going to happen. So I like that. That's what I want. I want to be hit by a bus. I want to be, I want to go whop out and then be gone, girl. I don't want a long, slow business,
Yep.
I want a 5-minute warning. And I want to get to ask one question.
Okay, for sure.
Just like something you've always wanted to know, you know?
Okay. I wish it was like if you like knew, like when with a dog or something, you're like, let me give them one last really good day. Like you get to eat whatever you want, you go to your favorite place, you do your favorite thing, and then you're like, oh yeah, hey, and then they just like you just go to sleep.
Can't watch those videos. I fall apart.
Or sudden.
A day would be like, I feel like 5 minutes is good because it's not enough time for you to like
Bargain.
really have big goodbyes for everyone and like really think about it. You could just be like, you know, order one milkshake and like record an I love you video. And then that's it. Like, and then you get to ask one question.
What do you think, Hal?
I think I'd rather be surprised. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because that 5 minutes would be 5 years. It would be 5 years and 5 seconds at the same time.
But you could be enjoying a milkshake.
I could be enjoying a milkshake anytime. I could be enjoying one right now and nobody would know. They wouldn't, because this is audio. I could have a big helmet with 2 milkshakes on either side and crazy straw going into my mouth.
And that is exactly what he's wearing. So
that's what I'm wearing right now. Yeah. My milkshake helmet.
And that's it.
Woo! Podcast Tuesday, y'all. This episode, I wouldn't have minded if there was I guess there sort of was, because everything's the way it used to be, except for the invisible pancakes are still there. It needs like that thriller ending where like, you were having a nightmare, everything's fine. And then he turns and he's got the yellow eyes at the end. Like, oh, he's not a wolfman or a zombie. He's a cat. Is that what it is? Is that what it's almost thriller season, everybody. But yeah, it does have that, like, everything's back to normal here in good old 2015 or good old 1885. A little Back to the Future also. Like that. You think everything's, nope.
Yeah.
Something's weird. What else is weird? What else is weird? What else changed and didn't change back?
But something's off, yeah.
There's stuff that we didn't know about because we don't know the entirety of Night Vale. There's people, there's things that happen that we don't know about. So we just know what we know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that leaves it open a little bit for us. I love that. Up next, we hear from fans and friends of the podcast. But first, a conversation about this episode's weather. This episode's weather was Zoology by Funk Rust Brass Band.
New Orleans feel.
Guys, Funk Rust.
I loved it. I loved this. Also, here's my notes from this weather. Needs more cowbell. Just kidding. Drums, layers, band, marching band. Even bigger, more exclamation points. And then I was like, is she singing through a megaphone? I loved it. I thought it was really fun. It reminds me of this band that I know that I don't know. I feel like they're a Midwest band called Mukapaza. Do you know who they are?
Yeah, I do. I think we've had them as the weather.
Oh, yeah. But a couple of my friends are in that, like, they're a big, like, marching band, and they have, like, people that, like, perform and dance along with them, and a few of my friends have worked with them. So it gives me those same vibes. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed this song.
Yep, it's good stuff.
I was bopping, tipping my little head, and my one functional toe. My other toes are functional, just, more so on my right.
Oh, yeah. So they're lying in wait. Funk Rust Brass Band is a 20-piece post-apocalyptic disco punk brass band.
Wow.
Playing all original music with megaphone vocals.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Their explosive live performances feature full band choreography, signature wasteland glam uniforms, and LED lighting effects. Post-punk disco EDM. Balkan Brass, New Orleans second line. Co-founded in 2014 by a real-life couple. And I don't know if they're still based in New York, but they were based in New York when this came out. And the one of the members of the band is the other half of the goth folk duo Charming Disaster. And Charming Disaster has also been the weather on Night Vale before. Charming Disaster was episode 50, I think, was Charming Disaster. So That's cool.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's cool to see them again. They're out there working. They're playing shows right now. Go check out their Instagram.
They're playing a show in Brooklyn on September 11th.
So never forget the day of that show and go see them. It looks like they put on a really good show. I really like this music. The ethos of their thing is that they're conceived as a brass band from a future dystopia dedicated to bringing hope to survivors in the post-apocalyptic world. The only bands that are left are those that can play without electricity or sound equipment. So they're out there just making the noise with their horns.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And their drums and their megaphones. So
lately, I've been all over the place. Between touring, dog sitting, and traveling, my routine has become non-existent. Now that my travel schedule has slowed down, I need to get back to eating real food and not just grabbing what I can when I can. And Factor is making that easier for me. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes and require little to no prep and no cleanup. So even on the days when my schedule is completely out of whack, eating well is still achievable. Like today, I had 3 meetings and a client. By the time I was done, I was hungry and I just needed to eat. So I grabbed the Beurre Blanc filet mignon with Parmesan risotto and it was delicious. I was amazed at how tender it was and how flavorful the risotto was and saved me from having to pick something up quick. And in 2 minutes, I had something healthy, fresh, and delicious. So if you like fast, easy, and delicious meals, I think you would like Factor meals too. Let's eat real. Head to factormeals.com/GMNV50OFF and use code GMNV50OFF to get 50% off and 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year, while supplies last until 10/31/2026. That's code GMNV50OFF at factormeals.com. GMNV50OFF at factormeals.com. See website for more details.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
All right.
Love it.
Well, I'm about to make some noise right now as I read the first entry in the FanZone Calzone, sponsored by Big Caesars. You like Little Caesars? We're bigger. Invader Liz writes, "Hi, friends I've never met. I was so excited to hear episode 190, listeners. It was such an unexpected way to continue the storyline from listener questions. My favorite part of the episode was hearing Maintenance Phase chime in. So cool to think that so many of my interests have overlapping communities, and a good reminder that if you like weird things, other people who like that thing might like other weird things you like. Lore drop. In one of the first 20 or so intros of Random Horror Podcast number 9, Jeffrey discusses seeing a zoo book as a child and not being able to figure out what the picture on the cover was, only to slowly realize it was a close-up of a spider's face. Hal, on one of the early episodes of We Got This, reveals he too was frightened by a zoo book's cover as a child, a zoo book's with a close-up of a spider's face. Could it be that Jeffrey and Hal share an arachnophobia origin story? My fanfic theory is that it was the same issue of Zoo Books, and a Night Vale tarantula came through into the real world in the late 80s/early 90s and got a modeling contract. Question. Hal, if We Got This with Mark and Hal was on this episode, what do you think the topic would be? Meg and Symphony, was there a podcast you are on, or like a lot, you would have liked to hear in this episode? Best/worst discussing an episode of what even airs on TV in Night Vale. Thank you for all you do. It's a joy to listen and giggle along with you. Parasocially yours, Invader Liz, she, her. P.S. Meg, check out Sarah and Duck, British cartoon. It is the best and most subtly surreal kids show with amazing music. All right. I hate to issue a correction off the bat. It might have been Mark who had that zoo book. I am afraid of spiders because of Doctor's Pet Shop on Cotman Avenue, where we go to get food for our dog Pepper. And behind in a glass walled-in section, which you have in those pet stores, they would have the animals for sale, and there would be in a different room. It would be a giant window, and then you'd see all the individual containers of pets. And one of them was a tarantula in a case, and it would just sit there, and like one leg would slowly move once in a while. and I would stand there locked in a stare with it and feel like it was in my hair and biting me on my neck and turning me into a spider, I assume is what happens. But also very sweet that you think that was the late 80s, early 90s, that Jeffrey and I were both children. Hold on to that. Hold on to that forever. Hang on loosely. Also, if we got this in Night Vale, I don't know, probably be something like Librarians or Brownstone Spire, something like that. Or Librarians or Dog Park.
Okay.
Choose between Librarians and the Dog Park. That might be a best animal to fall out of the glow cloud. That could be a topic in Night Vale. A lot of different choices. Symphony and Meg, podcast that you're on or that you listen to that you would have liked to have heard in episode 190.
Thank you for listening and mentioning my podcast, The Best Worst. Let's do that. Let's do a TV show that's in Night Vale. Yeah, whatever Night Vale TV shows. Night Vale Public Access is probably horrifying and wonderful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Trying to think what other podcasts would I want to be on from like 190. Oh, I think I said this when we reviewed 190, but normal gossip. I would love to hear about the normal gossip of people in Night Vale. That would be fucking sick. I want to hear about Sarah Sultan. I want to hear about everybody's little dish. Because I'm a chismosa. And I want to be in everybody's business. Up next in the Calzone, we have Parmelda. Parmelda writes, "Dear lovely tri-hosts, I was just at the Murder Night in Blood Forest live show in St. Paul, and I got to see Symphony before the show. Thanks for taking a picture of me with me. I wasn't in cosplay tonight, but I have in the past and sent pictures last time. Anyway, I'm writing to say I love the show, but was very upset not to be chosen for the role of Sarah, as my IRL name is Sarah. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I really love the interaction with the audience in this show, and I'm looking forward to the stories from it on Good Morning Night Vale and recordings. I hope you have a wonderful rest of Tour Symphony and to see you all again soon. Here are some pictures. Feel free to post and share. Parmelda, they, them." Hey, Parmelda, thank you so much. I am so sorry, especially since your name is actually Sarah. That would have made it really easy and you would have known. Because sometimes when I talk to people and I'm like, your name is Sarah, they look at me like, no. So, it's very fun that I get to interact with people in the audience. And maybe next time it will be you.
Next up, we have AJ. AJ writes, "Good morning, Night Vale. I'm a relatively new Night Vale listener. I started pretty much a year ago. It was the first fiction podcast I listened to, sending me into a hole of other podcasts that I have yet to crawl out of. Within the first couple episodes of my listening experience, I decided that I would listen to one episode every night to fall asleep to. In practice, it was more of a dozing off during the weather and a frantic, wait, what was that? Wait, that was it? I didn't register anything from the last couple minutes when the credits woke me up. It became a very substantial part of my daily routine and made going to bed more bearable, especially during the early episodes. I often thought about the fact that I was listening to the podcast 12 years later, a podcast that started when I was a toddler and I finally caught up to on the day I graduated. Welcome to Night Vale accompanied me every single day of my final school year, and coincidentally, I listened to the latest episode at the time on the night of my last day of school. Even though this has been some weeks ago, I still miss having an episode to listen to every night. Some nights I've been going back to listen to random old episodes. My favorites include The Waterfall, UFO sighting reports, listener questions, and Vermilion Falls. It also introduced me to some great music. My favorite weathers are definitely Shallow Eyes, Witchcraft, and I'm So Bored. Welcome to Night Vale changed my life. My final school year was really stressful, but the one episode every evening offered a small patch of time that just belonged to me. The podcast and the stars I would see through my window. It would take my thoughts off whatever was going on right now and find a bit of peace. I think Welcome to Night Vale struck a chord with me, especially through the twisting of normalcy it employs. I've always thought a lot about societal conventions and why they are the way they are. But through all the strangeness, Night Vale still manages to ground you somehow. At its core, the stories they tell you are quite common, which I've been noticing listening to Good Morning Night Vale. Tales of everyday life and its struggles, packaged in a way that surprises you and points out some of the faults in our world. Good Morning Night Vale has been great to listen to since I finished Welcome to Night Vale. I'm currently on Good Morning University of What It Is, so I still have some time till I'm caught up. I've been listening a lot on days I have to take the train somewhere for interviews. I'm applying for various FSJ and BFD, a voluntary social year young people can do here in Germany. So it can happen a day like that eats up 6 episodes. Some things you guys talk about I've forgotten even happen in Welcome to Night Vale episodes, which I chalk up to being somewhere between awake and asleep the last time I listened to them. I've been thinking about how you guys often talk about how political topics in old episodes relate to the current world in an unexpected way. It's interesting to me how in episodes from 2018 or 2019, you guys remark how it's now so much worse than it was in 2013, or whatever year the episode in question was written. It's a little funny in a sad way that this was back then. I've thought more than once, so hey, they don't even know about COVID yet. Now, listening to these conversations in 2025, I can only agree in the way that many developments that were satirized in Night Vale have gotten even worse. I can only hope now that in a couple of years, I won't be looking back at me writing this email and think, oh, he knew nothing yet. Thank you for the interesting conversations, for having me struggle to stifle a laugh on the train more than once, and for making my days not so boring. Greetings from Germany, AJ.
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 Oh, AJ.
I'm so happy we could be with you in high school. And I think I have hope for the future because of people like you, because of people like you who are really taking time to think about the world and think about stories and how they're told and what they all mean. I think that's really important. And you're out there taking your voluntary social year. And I think that there's still a lot of good that can be done in the world. And I think that there's still a bright future to look forward to. And hopefully by the time you're listening to this episode, whenever that is, it's in a brighter place than we are right now. Thank you all so much for listening. The next episode is It Doesn't Hold Up. And until then, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Meg Bashwiner, and Hal Lublin. It is edited by Felicia Dominguez and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Email us at info@goodmorningnightvale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to tell us when you would time travel to. This show is powered by our patrons, like Molly Gaines, Nathaniel Grubbs, Pat Lusk, Robert Marvin, and Sarah Dodge. If you are interested in supporting this show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, insider, hypercool kid content, check us out on patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more information on this show, go to goodmorningnightvale.com. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. Stromboli ingredient of the week is invisible pancakes. Yum.
I'm not giving up. I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Ouch. This knee is killing me, but I can't stop training. The marathon is in 2 weeks.
Let's get on ZocDoc and find a doctor to take a look at that for you.
Okay.
Here's a review. Dr. Craddock really takes his time.
No, I don't have time.
What about Dr. Charles? His patients say he can help find a quick fix, and he's in network.
Great, now we're talking. Book it.
Booked. 1 mile down, 19 to go.
Bring it on.
You've got options. Download the ZocDoc app today.